My name is Duddy, Saddle Builds and Stuff. Today I've got a build for you and a focus specifically on a weapon. The weapon in question is the Bastion. We're going to be punching things to death. The Bastion got a buff. It basically got 1-2 punch, 100% melee damage. Just look at the state of that. Absolutely disgusting. The build as well has got loads and loads of survivability. Just look at the state of this. Absolutely crazy. Just punching things in the face, healing things, building my Wormgod Caress up, which will also be featuring. Absolutely crazy. And like I said, Bastion is going to be the main focus of the build, and I'm going to do a build all around Bastion on the Titan with Wormgod Caresses. So stay tuned, they're going to break it all down. So, Saint 14 gave us the Bastion a few seasons ago. It's Saint's Fists, rapidly fires 3 spreads of pure force. After a successful melee hit, this weapon gains increased damage, reduced charge time and improved reload speed for a short duration. Hitting a target with most of the pellets in the burst increases the melee damage for a short duration. And this is the buff that Bungie did to it at the beginning of the season. Basically, the patch notes, the weapon tuning twib that they did, the twid or the twab, whatever you want to call it. Reworked Saint 14's Fists perk, dealing damage with melee increases your charge rate, damage and reload speed for a short duration. Landing a majority of pellets in a burst increases melee damage. So it did get a slight buff. It does get a 100% melee damage increase, which we'll go into in a moment. It pairs particularly nice with the knockout aspect. When you critically wound the target or breaking their shields infuses your melee. Knockout gives you a 50% damage increase, although it did last season. So I just wanted to test the knockout perk first, just for standard numbers, just to get that out of the way. I want to make sure everything all works together. So the knockout perk is going to give us a 50% melee increase. We're just going to check that out now. I just like to do this on the videos. 8,000, 17,000, that's correct. I wanted to check it with a Frenzied Blade next. This is the excellent Strand Titan melee, but obviously we're on prismatic. So again, it goes up to 41 from 27, so it is stacking. Now we're going to look at the Bastion, see what this actually does. This was 100% melee damage increase, which we'll check that as well. So 8,000, fire a few bursts, and it goes up to 17,000. That's a 100% damage increase, which is pretty much 1-2 punch, but it's in a fusion rifle, and it's absolutely awesome. 100% melee damage with the knockout, and these all stack together, by the way, plus a lot more to come. So stay with me, I'm going to break it all down even further. Some absolutely huge melee damage. And again, we'll see the knockout perk here and the Bastion proccing together at the same time without the Frenzied Blade. And it goes up to 82k, so it's pretty strong. I wanted to pair it with Wormgod Caress because defeating a target with a melee or a finisher grants escalating melee damage which decays over time. Higher levels of Burning Fists give you higher melee damage, and they give you increased weapon damage as well. Don't really say much on there, so I had to dig on like GG. It says your melee damage buff goes from 1 to 5 stacks, 55% all the way up to 275%, 200% on glaives, and your weapons in PvE gain a 35% damage increase. So it's a mixture. Like I said, it did get the 1-2 punch perk, but with the Wormgod Caress, you actually get the trench barrel as well, or almost. Trench barrel gives you 50%. 35% with Wormgod Caress on your weapons and 275% on your melee. It's absolutely crazy. It's a bit of a mixture with Wormgod. You basically get the 1-2 punch from the Bastion, and you also on top of that get Trench Barrel, which is really nice. And you'll see this damage number against Cal now with the Frenzied Blade. Just watch how much I hit for here. There's Knockout, the Bastion perk, Frenzied Blade, 308k, which isn't too shabby at all. Really strong. It's not as good as obviously as the Liar's Handshake builds, but it isn't that far off for melees and damage at the same time. Another 308k, pretty consistent. Like I said, with the Liar's Handshake and all the Hunter melee builds you've seen going on at the moment, they're written for like 1.6, something like that. 1.4 millions in the Lost Sectors and the dungeons and stuff like that. What I like to do is pair it with a Drenger's Lash as well, because this barricade will suspend things, which really aids your course. It aids the help as well. So you'll see it in this clip here. I'm going to build my stacks up and then suspend him with a Drenger's Lash aspect on the prismatic, which really does help the situation. You'll be able to take control a little bit more. Have a little bit more time to plant your shots on your Bastion and proc that damage buff. And you can easily dispatch of barrier champions. Not to mention, Bastion does have inbuilt unstoppable rounds as well. A couple of fragments to look at is Facet of Dominance. Your void grades weaken targets. You can add that into the Weller, add a 15% debuff on there. Galvanic Armour, because we are always amplified via the knockout perk, so you get loads of damage reduction. And again, I just want to sort of say, it's not as good as the Hunter setups, but it isn't that far away, because with Wormgod you actually get the damage increase on the weapons as well. I have managed to hit him for about 234, 250k, and then a couple more melees, another 100k, so 200 and 100. So round about 350k, and then plus you're getting the extra damage from the Bastion. Loads of numbers to break down. I was going to estimate about 400k per sequence. Knockout, Galvanic Armour and Facet of Protection are an absolutely insane combo to run for survivability. Knockout makes you amplified, heals you. Galvanic Armour gives you loads of damage reduction. And Facet of Protection, when you're surrounded, it's also going to give you damage reduction. And then Facet of Blessing, just to buff your knockout perk out. Knockout perk only heals depending on what type of enemy you kill. So Facet of Blessing just really buffs that healing out for you. So you can just run around the melee stuff. And it's really strong, nice solid little build, and it's absolutely so much fun, guys. It's really strong, and if you get used to it, I mean, I died a few times in here because I was testing stuff out and stuff like that, but when you get used to it, I did another run afterwards and I was smashing through this. But it's really good, loads of survivability, plenty of damage on your melee, plenty of damage on your Bastion as well. And that's, again, I'll mention, that's why I really like the Wormgod Caress for this particular setup, because you get the increased damage from the melee from the Bastion as well. So that's sort of like your 1-2 punch covered, and then the Wormgod Caress will build your weapon damage up at the same time as well, and increase all your speed of reloads and aiming and your projectile firing and stuff like that as well, to get that 35% damage increase. So a bit of a mixture of 1-2 punch and trench barrel. I hope you found this helpful. Have a great day.